This is Tank's Vlog for January 8, 2019. Wrapping up today in sports, brought to you by Allow Me to Be Frank, the weekly podcast you can hear on iCloud and Sound. Of course, you know it's iTunes and SoundCloud. So listen to Allow Me to Be Frank. We'll have new episodes coming soon. But you can listen to last week's episode, which was totally crazy, about my trip home from Idaho. That's Allow Me to Be Frank on SoundCloud and iTunes. This is the best way to sum up the 2018 National Championship game played in Santa Clara on Monday. That was a total, complete bitch slap laid on Alabama by Clemson. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Yes, indeed. Woo! Take that, Nick Saban, you son of a bitch! That's the ass-kicking Alabama has been deserving for the last decade. Worst loss that the Tide have suffered since Nick Saban arrived, since Nick Saban stabbed the Dolphins in the back. Oh, how delightful. And I'm not convinced. I think the Dolphins need to bite the bullet. I think they need to go lose their next 32 games and do whatever it takes to get Trevor Lawrence down to South Florida. This man is going to be the next big thing in the NFL. This guy is just a flat-out star in the making. He's 19, for crying out loud, and he's just riddled apart Alabama today. Just destroyed Alabama. 347 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, bombs. Every time they needed a big play, he made it. And you could see the panic. The panic was setting in Alabama early as they were going for 4th down in their own territory, setting up Clemson for short fields. It was just a total, incomplete, ever-loving ass kick that Clemson did today. 44-16 final. I thought the game with the first quarter was what I thought we were going to see all day. It was Clemson scored, Alabama scored. Clemson scored, Alabama scored. And then Alabama scored to take the lead in the second quarter. But then after that, nothing. Nada. You get nothing, sir. You lost. Just absolute beautiful performance. Beautiful. I mean, just hammer time. I mean, you gotta love it. You got to love it. You gotta love it. And you know what's great is this is the first time many of those players on Alabama have been to school all year, because Clemson certainly took them to class. I mean, woo, woo! I feel like saying this. Clemson, you just got Alabama, you just got your ass straight up kicked. Woo! And Clemson, next year, Trevor Lawrence is going to be a sophomore. He's going to be even better. I mean, these two teams might meet again next year, and it's going to be interesting if Tua Tagovailoa could bounce back from his absolute humbling. Not a good game by Tua Tagovailoa. Not a good game at all. 2 turnovers, 2 killer turnovers. And it was just straight up domination by Clemson. There's no other word to describe it today. Dabo Swinney is now one of the top coaches in college football. 2nd national championship. And just think, the articles every time he wins a game have now surfaced about when Clemson decided to hire him as a coach. What is Clemson doing? Don't they have any clue? Well, Don't you have a clue? See, that's why sometimes it's good to take a chance on a young guy, coach. And boy, they really hit a home run with Dabo Swinney. So that brings an end to the 2018 End National Championship season and the long enduring bowl season. I hope one day they get rid of all these bowls. You know, it was so nice when there was only a few bowl games. I want quality, not quantity. I want every bowl game to be a good bowl game. Not what we have. Not this crap 40 bowl games. Less is more. And hopefully the NCAA realizes that. I mean, there's no way you could describe that. I mean, gee, you know, everyone was ripping Notre Dame. You know, what's a more embarrassing loss? 30-3? You only lost by 27 points here. You held a great offense in Clemson to 30 points. Something that Alabama couldn't do. And Clemson's got a great defense, so they couldn't score against Clemson defense. Alabama only scored 16 more points than Notre Dame did. So everyone that said that Notre Dame didn't belong there owes the Irish an apology. Because Alabama got their ass kicked by Clemson too. Clemson was the best team in the nation. We didn't know that. We all assumed it was going to be Alabama. Both teams were undefeated. Both teams didn't lose a game. Both teams rolled through the regular season. But we gave Alabama the edge because of their pedigree. But Clemson tonight, they showed this was the year of the Clemson Tiger. NHL on Monday night. It was the Nashville Predators going into Toronto and shutting out the Maple Leafs 4-0 as Pekka Rinne didn't even have to do hard work. It was just pure defense by the Predators, limiting Toronto to 18 shots. It was the Blues shutting out the Flyers 3-0 as the Flyers are suddenly reeling with 7 straight losses. Gritty. Things are getting so bad in Philadelphia, they might have to put the mascot on the ice. It was the Wild behind Devin Dubnyk in his 32 saves, blanking the Canadiens 1-0. Johnny Gaudreau scored twice as the Flames burnt the Blackhawks 4-3, and the Sharks beat the Kings 3-1. Moving on to the NBA. It was a tough one for the Nets today. They had a chance to get to 500, but then they had to go into Boston. And you just don't expect them to win in Boston yet. But they fell 116-95, but there's been a lot of progress and a lot of reason to hope. So we'll see what happens, see if they can get back on track in the next few days and get that 500, get to the magical 500 number. It was the Trailblazers 111-101 winners over the Knicks. Keep on tanking. That's what the Knicks have to do. The Knicks are now Bizarro World. Every loss is a win for the Knicks. Every loss is a win. The Knicks got to lose as many games as possible. Focus on Zion. Every time you think you can win a game, time to bring in the subs. Zion. Keep saying that, Knicks fans. The NBA needs Zion Williamson to be on the Knicks. They need this franchise to come back to life. God forbid Zion Williamson goes to the Cavaliers. If Zion Williamson goes to the Cavaliers, that will prove the NBA sucks. And because, you know, if he goes to the Cavaliers, he's going to the Lakers eventually. The NBA can't let that happen. They need to go. They need to find a lot of balls that were used in 1985 when they fixed it for Patrick Ewing to go to the Knicks. They need to do that again. It was the Spurs beating the Pistons 119-107 despite a strong game by Blake Griffin. The Rockets always seem to bring out their best performance against the top teams in the West and did so again, beating the Nuggets 125-113 as James Harden scored 32 points with 14 assists and 5 rebounds. It was the Bucks continuing their strong play as of late as Giannis Antetokounmpo had 30 points and 10 rebounds to lead the way in a 114-102 win over the Jazz. It was the Pelicans beating the Grizzlies 114-95. The Lakers beat the Mavericks 107-97. And the Kings got back to 500, beating the Magic 111-95. Today's 3 stars are Trevor Lawrence of Clemson, Devin Dubnyk of the Wild, and James Harden of the Rockets. Trevor Lawrence, please, Dolphins, get him. Get him. I want to suck. I actually want him to suck as bad as possible the next 2 years. Next year they'll suck and draft some good linemen, and then they'll suck and get the number 1 pick, and they'll draft Trevor Lawrence. That's the plan. I want Trevor Lawrence to be in Miami so bad. And today we take a look back at the 2009 BCS game when Florida won their second national championship in 3 years, beating Oklahoma 24-14. Oklahoma came into the game with 5 straight games with 60 or more points, and the Gators stopped them, holding them to just 2 touchdowns. And our birthday shout out today goes to the man that Mike Francesa thinks will be the next manager of the New York Yankees, Jason Giambi, who turns 48. So check out the story of the 2008-2009 Florida Gators, and notice the who's in the championship picture there, a certain deceased former New England Patriot, multiple serial killer, looking at the championship trophy. So check that out at Barstool Sports. It's Sports Encyclopedia where sports history lives. And good day, and don't forget, allow me to be frank, SoundCloud and iTunes.